and the key won't work for the door. So I go try it again. He goes, it won't work. I said, we went out the front door. So that bar can't be on the door. You got that bar.
Yeah.
So when you put the key in, if the bar's there, it won't work. So they were trying to wire up my room.
I was going to say. Hey, this is Matt Cox, and we're going to be doing an interview with John Alite and Mike Dowd, and I've actually interviewed Mike Dowd before, and so check this out.
So how'd you get on the commercial?
Oh,
how did that work for you?
My booking agent actually saw Home Title Lock, and he said to me, hey, this Home Title Lock, like, they protect people, they monitor people against doing what you did. You want me to contact them and see if they want you to be like a spokesperson? I was like, fuck yeah, of course I do. I said, I mean, if you want to. I'm like, I don't even know how to get in touch with them. And he's like, yeah, I'll look into it. Man, like 2 hours later, he goes, okay, there's a girl named Jennifer. She's going to be sending you an email. Like he just had it all linked up. She should within the next day, she's going to hit you up. I gave her your stuff. She'll contact you. 20 minutes later, boom, email from Jennifer. And I'm like, she's like, hey, can we set up a call? The next day, we set up a call. A month later, they're flying me out to Oklahoma to be in a commercial.
Hey, Matt, can you give the people that don't know what your charges were and what you did? You give them a little override.
Well, I met him from the TV too, I did it.
Cut me off.
I know. It's a con.
What do you want to do? You want to talk about why he's here?
You know why, Matt? Because he thinks he's slick because he's wearing the
I got my jacket. Pink. I'm in pink today, because last time we did a show, he wore something pink, and everybody made a comment. You are wearing pink. Sure. Yeah, but anyway, so yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted. No, because
there's some people you can make.
I did a show with
too, and some people you can't.
I did a show with Matt, but in fact, your number one show, Matt. I mean, I hate to say it, but
it got like 120,000 views or something.
And it was your first one, or was it?
It's going to be number 2 now.
You think this one's going to be better?
Because I'm here.
Yeah, that's true. So John, you want to know what his situation was? Is it?
Yeah. I was a mortgage broker in Tampa, and I basically was committing fraud periodically.
Oh, so you actually had a job?
Oh, it was a real job.
I didn't know. Yeah. No, I didn't know that.
You didn't know? What? You didn't? Are you serious?
I'm serious. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was a mortgage broker. I went and I was dating this chick, and she was a stripper. And so, she, of course,
perfect.
As soon as she graduated school, she actually did put herself through college stripping.
Okay.
So she graduated with a degree in finance. She met a guy who owned a mortgage, a lender, at the strip club, and he offered her a job because obviously, if you own a legitimate company and you're in a strip club, you're thinking, how can I hire these strippers? They would make great salespeople. So he hires her. Very soon afterwards, he started banging her, but I'm sure it was,
before you or after you?
No. While we were living together,
but not in a relationship.
No, he was married.
You and her?
No, I was living with her.
Oh,
he starts banging my girlfriend, but I don't know this.
Could you imagine?
I don't know this.
He's banging his girlfriend. What would you do?
Ask him if I can join in.
He says,
knock on the door.
Hey, let me in there.
So she says to me initially, I should have known something was wrong, by the way. You know why? Because she said to me, when she first met the guy, she's like, oh my God, he owns this lender. Owns a lending company. He's got a bunch of branches, this and that. He flips houses. He said he'd help us flip houses. And I was working construction at the time. So I go,
wait, hold on.
Is this is going to be the whole time? This is going to be, I thought, an hour and a half. When he said it's going to be at least an hour and a half.
Right.
Hold on. You worked construction.
Wait a second. They always write me in. Man, when he does this, don't you want...
You were working construction first.
Shoot him. They ask me. I go, nah, I'm used to it.
Wait. Now we have two jobs. You did construction prior to being a mortgage broker.
No. I'm telling you how I became a mortgage broker.
You're not paying attention.
Yeah. I told you I was dating the chick.
Right.
We're living together.
Right.
She comes home from her job stripping one night, says, I met this guy. He owns a lending institution. Right. He wants to help us flip houses. So she was pushing this agenda because I was working construction. She's saying, hey, we can start flipping houses.
She's banging him.
Not yet. They just met.
But when they start banging, then you fuck him because you get in his mortgage business and then you
No, he's banging nails.
No, yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, what happens is I should have known something was wrong because she kept saying, you should be a mortgage broker. You should be a mortgage broker. And then one day she stopped mentioning it. But by this point, I want to be a mortgage broker.
Right.
So I say, I want to be a mortgage broker. I fly up. I go meet him. He says, okay, I'll hire you. He flies me to North Carolina. They train me. Greensboro. I fly down. I start working at the mortgage company. He immediately transfers her to Sarasota. So I'm in Tampa. She's in Sarasota. Yeah. She has to move out. He buys a rehab that's actually a very nice house and moves her in it. I'm naive because the thing is, this guy's like, he had freckles. He's a fucking ginger. He got freckles. He's goofy looking. He's got blonde or orange hair.
Soulless.
He had money.
Yeah, he was green ginger.
So I'm literally, when people are making comments like he's banging her, and I'm overhearing this at the office, I'm thinking, look at me.
Yeah.
He's not fucking banging her. Look at me. Yeah. Are you out of your fucking mind? He's a douchebag. Yeah. And he's got like 3 fucking kids and a wife. What are you talking about? Delusional. The point is that I start doing really well, and that company folds. It goes under. Oh. And I at that point realize she's fucking him. Right. And I say, yeah, all right. This is what's going on. I don't believe you. It's over. We end up breaking up. I end up working for another company for about 3 or 4 months. Then I opened my own company. But the problem is, by that point, I'm already committing a little fraud.
That's what I was saying before. I thought it was justifiable for you to fuck him over, thinking to you, but you didn't really get him.
I didn't really get him. Yeah. I didn't get him. And look, ultimately, this is funny. His ex-wife knew something was wrong. She started hearing stuff. Right. She has a fucking private investigator follow him when he flies to Florida and pictures everything. Then she divorces him. The two of them end up getting married, having a kid. So he divorces his wife. She and I, we break up. Yeah. They get married. They have another kid, and they're still married to this day. So from her point of view, it's a romantic story. From my point of view, she's a whore.
Right.
Hi. In these times where there is so much hatred in the world, we need to come together and help my friend Matthew Cox. Right now, he's desperate for your help, and he has opened a Patreon account in which for $10, you can get him to send you a thank you for your $10. The second tier is $50, and you will have access to all of my videos and some of his videos the whole length. That's the length of the video, by the way. Tier number 3, you will get one of these original paintings, collectibles, 1 out of 10. They may not be worth a lot, but when Matt dies, they will be worth a lot. And the way he's living, they will be worth a lot pretty soon. So please support his cause and visit his Patreon account.
But both versions are
you're very
true.
logical. I mean, you are very logical.
Yeah, good for her.
Yeah,
how many years are they together now?
Oh God, they've been together. It's got to be 20 years. 15, 20, almost 20 years. 20 years now.
Save yourself a divorce.
Wow, that's actually that's almost romantic in a way. I hate this.
From her point of view.
I think I see it. Yeah.
And honestly, they had a lot in common. She played softball. He played minor league ball. He was probably perfect for her. So anyway, I start committing a little bit of fraud here, just nothing. Okay, I hate to say this. Go ahead, because there's no little bit of fraud. Right. It's black or white. But I start committing fraud to get people loans. You come in, you made $80,000 last year, but if you made, and you don't quite qualify for the loan for the house you want to buy, but if you made $85,000, you could get the loan. Right. So I change your W-2, I alter the document, nobody put it in, nobody catches it, it goes through, you get the loan, I get my commission. So that ends up blowing up. I start doing more and more and more. It got to the point where if you just walked in the door, you're getting a loan. Like you have a pulse, unless you just claim bankruptcy, I'm getting you a loan.
Yeah, right. You figured out how to do it
very and I kept every time.
And you'll get your piece.
Well, and every time you get away with a crime, you become emboldened.
Yes, of course.
I'm smarter than them. I'm better than them. I can do this. I can fix it. And then it becomes a challenge.
Right. Well, that was like our lives, though, John. Yeah, right. I mean, every time you got away with
you did it with a pen. I did it with a gun. I mean, still.
Yeah, but wait. Did you have mortgages? Did you have homes?
Yeah.
Did you?
Of course.
How'd you get a loan? You went in with the gun?
No, I went to, back in those days, it was Greenpoint Savings.
Oh, okay.
So I had the guys in there.
Yeah. So he had a guy like me.
A couple of days, I'd get $1 million. If I wanted $1.5 million, I'd pay an extra couple of points to him.
Right. Like I would have, I had like drug dealers, guys who had like no job. Like I don't even know what you do. You come in, but you've got decent credit.
Right.
Or maybe no credit,
Yeah, right.
but you've got 20% to put down.
Boom.
I'm going to make up the fact that you've got a job. I'm going to make up your rental history.
Right.
I'm going to make up the down payment, the bank account, everything.
You need him right now.
You know what me and him we common, right? You know what? I'm a New Yorker, right?
Right.
But my case was based out of the Middle District of Florida, Tampa.
Okay.
We know what it is. This is a strict district, the strictest in the country, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not
This
fucking
was a bad
around.
place to fuck around with fraud. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
You should have picked another city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know guys in other parts of the country where they're like, I can't believe you did any jail time at all. Or other countries, they're like, you would have gotten 3 years, and they would have let you do it on home confinement, which they consider incarceration.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You do it in your living room with an ankle monitor. Fucking, they're hammering you.
Yeah.
So, but what ended up happening was eventually I ended up getting caught. I get a charge. I get a slap on the wrist. Or slap on the hand. I get 3 years probation. But instead of saying, hey, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to start selling used cars. This didn't work out. And so I lost my mortgage company. I actually sold it to somebody else, transferred it into their name. A friend of mine was a CPA and he's running it and he's paying me. And then I kept committing fraud. So I open up a development company and I start making synthetic identities, like fake people. So I figure out how to get Social Security to issue me Social Security numbers to people that don't exist. And I would create a fake profile. I get secured credit cards, make the payments, and after like 6 months, they would have 700 credit scores. So now I've got this person who's got his own social, his own date of birth, his own social, his own driver's license, everything.
You created someone.
A fake person.
Right.
And then I would have that person go and buy a house for $40,000 in Ybor City. You know Ybor City?
Yeah, right.
Like they were shitholes back then, right? They're still shitholes, but now they're expensive.
Now they're $300,000-$400,000
for the same shithole.
Same shit.
So I'd buy a house for like $50,000 and I would record the value of the house. I'd record the sale at $200,000.
Right.
So that's a $200,000 sale. And so I did that where one guy's buying 5 houses, one guy's buying 6, one guy's buying 4, all different people. And so the area went from the median price of, let's say, $75,000 up to like $250,000. And then I would refinance the house, pull out $150,000,
Right.
$200,000 out of each house. So each guy gets about $1 million. And then I make a few payments, let them go in foreclosure. Bank would take the house back and they just think, oh, we lent too much money on the house, and they never thought fraud.
Right.
So I walk away with the money. That went on for a couple of years. I got $11.5 million. And then at some point the FBI gets involved. I have a buddy that got caught in the bank. And when they grabbed him, he said, look, I don't want to go to jail.
Right.
I can give you a guy who's running a huge fucking scam. This was in Orlando, in Tampa. So he works with a task force. They come to arrest me, but I have a friend who's a sheriff's deputy who comes to me and says, you're going to be arrested in the next couple of days. So I take off on the run. I go off on the run.
Another guy on the run.
Did you
You gotta
go like in Brazil and Cuba and Africa? Oh, no.
No, bro, I'm scared.
He ran around the
I
block.
can't.
Where'd you run?
I went to Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I went to Atlanta. I go to Atlanta.
Myself a lot of headaches because I spent 2.5 years in Brazil.
No, I mean, look, like, here's the thing. Everybody's like, why didn't you leave the United States? Oh, I did. I went to, I went to Italy, I went to Greece, I went to Croatia. Like, I traveled. I've traveled. I had false passports. So by that point, I'd figured out how to get the DMV to issue me driver's license, how to get the State Department to issue me false passports. I've had over 20, is it not over? I've had about 24.
I got 4 with 6. Yeah. 6 and another one was kind of like a passport, so 7.
Well, so I actually only got caught with about 6 when they caught me, but I've had that many.
Right.
So I actually didn't even get caught with them. My girlfriend at the time, as soon as I got in trouble, she fucking went straight to the bank, got the safety deposit box, and went straight to the Secret Service and said, "Here's 6 fucking passports. I didn't know anything about them."
Yeah.
Like, wow. I mean, you didn't even hold out for a little bit.
They're good.
Like,
they're good. How about a negotiation here?
I waited. You're not even in trouble.
Yeah. Right.
So I took off on the run, stole another like $3.5 to $4 million, got caught in a bank one time, talked my way out, convinced them I hadn't done anything. Yeah. They let me go. I was on the run for 3 years, and then they caught me. Eventually they caught me, and I went to prison. I got 26 years in prison. When I was in prison, literally tried not to get to 26, gave up everybody I fucking knew. desperate to fucking give up everybody I know.
You're shy about that.
You're
Oh
shy.
yeah, I'm embarrassed. I'm ready to cut everybody's fucking throat. Like at this point, everybody's cut my throat. So by this point, like the first time I got in trouble, I didn't say anything.
Right.
I'm like, I'll take the charge. They even told me, my lawyer told me, I can get your charges dropped. You haven't been indicted yet. So we can do pretrial intervention. Just go into your mortgage company and bring 5 or 6 of your most egregious files from your brokers. Give them to the FBI, work with them. I'll get you so that you won't even have to get indicted. And I was like, not doing
Nah, yeah, you're a tough guy.
I'm not doing I've seen Godfather.
Yeah,
I'm
tough
going to
guy.
keep my mouth. So, if I'd known then, I would have shown up at the weekly meeting with a dolly and said, help me get the fucking load up. Then I helped the guys load it up in the back of a truck and said, look, I'm just suggesting you guys get a lawyer, do the right thing.
Right.
And I'd have driven it straight to the
Good
FBI
luck.
office.
Should have called Mandel. Do you know who that is?
No.
He was one of my partners, and they caught him in a little scam. Nothing major with mortgages.
Right.
Then a little bit with weed, and he wired up, and against me, he couldn't get me on the wire though. He tried, but he was giving up everybody and his mother. So he owns a couple of places here in Tampa. He owns Scores. He owns a couple of nightclubs, and he got very rich off of me. And later on, I guess off of everybody else, he didn't hold out at all. He just gave everybody up. So.
Well, listen, I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, to me, I thought everybody was gonna, be loyal, and there was a code. And
Yeah, right. Yeah,
bullshit,
that's what yeah. Well, so I mean, John. So like, you guys did a little fraud. Then you my big fraud was my Corvette.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave the keys to some guy, Vinny, and Vinny took the car. And then they actually called me in. The investigator was probably a retired cop, because they're all the investigators are retired cops.
Right.
So you had somebody steal your Corvette.
I had somebody steal my Corvette. I gave him the keys, and I went away for a couple of days, and I came back, and my reported my car stolen. Of course, they had more questions for me than I even thought of. Well, how did they come from your driveway? How did they get there? Where's your second set of keys? We only have one set. Where's the other set? A lot of. I'm like, wait a minute, why are you questioning me? I'm the police. You're questioning me? I said, just give me my money. It's like $27,000 I'm supposed to get in a check, And boy, oh boy, I tell you, of course, Kenny gave that up. Kenny's the guy from the 7-5 documentary. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah.
You're familiar
I saw it.
Yeah. So the 7-5 documentary, Kenny was the one who gave them. Listen, he gave. So when I was the connection to this whole situation is, and why? And listen, you got 3 guys in a room here.
Yeah.
How many years did you do?
About 18.
All right, and you did
13.
13, and I got a 14-year sentence. I did 12 and a half. So we got a lot of.
Oh, you're talking about time you actually did. 12 and a half. It's a lot of time you did.
Yeah, I'm talking about prison. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you meant,
What?
vacationing.
No, but between the 3 of us, there's a lot of
40 fucking.
There's a lot of time.
That's 43 years.
There's a lot of time spent behind the pen here, But the what got us there, obviously, was what we did, the things that we did. But with Kenny, when I was out on bail, I mean, I don't know if you know, like, did anybody ever put a wire on against you?
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah.
And you?
Yeah.
Oh, so I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
Kenny put the wire on, and he went down the list. He must have had they must have gave him a predetermined list on who they wanted to know about. He went down the list. What about this guy? What about this guy? What about this guy? So by the time I get pinched, they know what I had. My mother has. They know what my mother did for fucking the last 30 fucking years. So you.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. The old Days Inn on the Causeway.
Yeah.
I forget, they renamed the hotel there. So we used to stay there on a regular basis.
Am I okay with the glasses?
Yeah, very good. Actually, not just the pink. So we were there, a couple of guys. We get a suite, double room.
We're in Tampa?
In Tampa,
Oh,
right
okay.
on the Causeway. And this is one occasion. And we go out the front door, but we also have a back door that goes to the pool. Because I always wanted both. Since I used to come down with 5-6 guys to get the suites. So we go out. We leave the room. And I told the guy before we left, make sure you lock that door. Make sure you check it and you lock it. So he did. We left and I forgot something. I said, hey, you know what? Make a U-turn. I got to go back.
Oh, the U-turn.
We go back.
The U-turn.
And the key won't work for the door. So I go, try it again. He goes, it won't work. I said, we went out the front door. So that bar can't be on the door. You got that bar.
Yeah.
So when you put the key in, if the bar's there, it won't work. So I tell one of the guys after a while, I says, go to the desk and bring the guy. So the manager comes over, he knows me. And I says, hey, the door won't open. And you can see his face. I says, my other friend, Frankie, go around the back and see if you can get in the back door. And the back door is wide open. So they were trying to wire up my room.
I was going to say.
Back, and they ran out the back. So that was just one occasion. I mean, I had so many different, they had so many different investigations on me and trying to set me up with, wiring up apartments, wiring up guys like Duke, wiring up, Duke flew into Philadelphia actually try to wear wire on me in the airport, but I knew what he was doing. So, and Tampa's very proactive. When they're after, they don't blame.
Right. They're proactive. Yeah.
Then I had another agent that came and tried to set us up on a sting, and we met with him, and we foiled his thing. We knew he was an agent. So
hey, this is Matt Cox, and do me a favor and join my Patreon account. I have multiple tiers, and in one of those tiers, you get full-length access, motherfucker. You get early access to all of the full-length interviews that I do, and in some of the other tiers, you actually get a unique painting every single month that you can put on your wall and whatever. So join the Patreon team thing, whatever. Thank you.
I literally, when this chick and her husband wore a wire on me, I knew in the middle of the conversation, I realized, oh my God.
But what made you realize it?
So
what was the key? Because there's always something.
So this other mortgage company, I had run a bunch of loans through them.
Right.
They got busted.
Right.
Or they got I just knew they were being investigated by the FBI.
Right.
And I just refinanced this chick's house to get her like $75,000 to pay her attorney.
Right.
As soon as she gave him the $75,000, he said, you should turn this guy in. You should wear a wire against this guy. So she goes to the FBI. She and her husband get a wire on, and they call me up and they go, listen, can you meet us at the pizzeria down the street? I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. So I go to the pizzeria and I walk in. I'm like, hey, what's up? I sit down. And it turns out there's an agent, of course, sitting next to, I don't know that.
Yeah.
And this is funny because afterwards I found this, I realized what had happened.
Usually it's after, I know.
Well, I'm sitting there going, I said, so what's going on? She goes, look, the FBI came in, they seized all of our files, and they're asking questions about my wife at the time. They're asking questions about your wife. And I went, well, because those were little bad loans I had done. And I went, I said, fuck. And she said, so they're asking a bunch of questions like, holy shit, you didn't tell them the W-2s were fake, did you? You didn't tell them the pay stubs were fake, did you? You didn't tell them that. Like, I just fucking
you fucked up. You fucked up. Yeah.
And halfway through, I sit there and I'm like, holy shit. And I look up and the agent, which I found out later was their agent, has a piece of pizza. And you know how they put the napkin under the pizza? Yeah. He had rolled it up and he was eating the pizza and eating the napkin. And I go, excuse me, sir. Hey, I go, sir, like that. And finally, you could tell he's like trying not to look at me.
Yeah.
And I realized, and I now realize like he was like any idiot would go, what's up, man? Yeah. I go, yo, sir. And so they're like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, why are you?
And he looks at me, he goes, like that. I said, bro, you're eating your napkin. And he goes, what? I go, you're eating your napkin, bro. And he goes, oh God, I'm sorry. Thank you. And I remember Pete, which was the husband. He's like, like it's fucking mad. and she's like, and they're all relieved. And I thought, that's weird. So that was one thing.
Yeah.
But then I say, okay, listen, I said, here's what you do. When you talk to the FBI, just tell them that you never actually met my wife. You tell them you never met Kayla. And they go, well, we can't lie to the FBI. And I went, what?
Yeah, he slept.
I go, what do you mean you can't lie to the FBI? And I said, you've been lying the whole fucking time. Yeah. They goes, what are you talking about? I said, bro, I just refinanced your fucking house using
fake. They didn't know that though.
They didn't know that.
Right.
I said, you're using
that's happened to me.
I go, fake W-2s and pay stubs. I said, you're fucking lying. You're still committing fucking fraud.
Yeah, right. You are.
Pete stands up and he says, we've never lied to the FBI. We may not have told them everything, but we've never lied.
Yes.
And I remember I thought
exactly what happened in my fucking situation. Almost to a T.
What the fuck? Who's he talking to? And I thought, oh, fuck. And I looked at Gretchen because I wasn't really friends with her fucking husband. Like she and I, she'd been my manager. We'd worked together before. I looked at her and I went, well, fuck. I said, I hope you're getting something from me. Like that. And she looked at me and she fucking starts crying, just tears immediately. Boom. And she says, she goes, I don't have to go to jail. And she goes, Matt, I have a daughter. And I go, I don't have a son?
Yeah. Right.
I looked at her and I went, I said, listen. I said, you know what? I said, tell the FBI to call me on the phone. Do not come by my office, because when they came to her office, she had like 6 people working for them. They all quit.
Right.
And I knew my fucking 12 guys.
They were gone.
They're all
yeah, gone.
They're already telling me not to talk to her.
Right.